Thank you so much for being part of Mountain Ridge. I love doing these little monthly updates with our volunteer and staff teams because it just gives us a chance to celebrate the things that God's doing. And today I want to share with you a couple of big ideas and ask you if you would please pray with me for some important things that are coming up in the life of our church. But first, I was so just overwhelmed with what God's been doing in our church throughout the summer. Between VBS and camps, and even just our normal week to week Sundays, we have seen more first time guests than we have in a long time. And that is exciting because that means God is stirring people like you and others in our church to invite their friends, to let people know about the great things that God's doing in our church and through our church. And it's brought in a whole set of fresh faces. And I'm just so excited and intrigued to see what God's going to do in their lives as they come and get to experience Him the way we have already experienced Him. And just a little bit of background on some of those things. Between camp and VBS, we had over a dozen families that had no prior connection, not just to our church, but really had not been connected to any church. That's a dozen families or more that are really investigating who Jesus is for the very first time. And that is exciting. I know we like to celebrate when somebody makes a profession of faith or gets baptized, and we should. Those are huge moments. But at the same time, seeing somebody start a journey and watching God work in their hearts is just breathtaking. And I'm so glad that we get to do that together. And I know many of you in the places that you're serving and the ways that you're contributing, you get a chance to rub shoulders with these families. And I just want to encourage you to realize what a blessing, what a unique opportunity that is. And so not only to be thankful, but I know you're already doing a great job of loving and serving them. But don't forget to thank God for letting you get to be part of that early process in somebody's life and eternity changing. And so thank you for serving the way you have. And then, of course, we did Next Gen Sunday just last Sunday, and it was amazing. It was so fun to celebrate with everyone and a little bit of a different service. And so many of you were out manning tables and hosting people. We had about 8 or 10 folks that said, hey, I want to serve too. I want to make an impact and make a difference, just like what I see happening around me. And so not only does God continue to bring people to our church, He continues to bring people and give them a heart to serve others, to love people the way Jesus loved them, to have an impact, to make a difference not only in our church but in our community. And so so much of that is because of the culture that you guys help create, because you serve with such joy and you make such an impact on people that they look at what you're doing and they go, I want to do that too. I want to have that same experience. So not only would I say thank you, but well done. You are representing Jesus well when you do that. I know the school year is getting ready to get started. It's going to be an amazing time in our church. Not only our next gen volunteers, but our greeters and our cafe and our worship team. There's so many different places where people serve, and it feels like we just kind of turn a page when school starts. And so we're ready to do that again, and it'll be phenomenal to see God at work. And I just want to thank you, like I said before, for serving and making a difference. And I also want to ask you to do something. I want to ask you to pray. Uh, every sermon series we do is important because we're looking at God's word and we want to communicate it to not only the people that are in our church, but like I said earlier, the people in our community. We have a series coming up in September called Choosing Great Relationships. We have a guest speaker coming in that we feel like is going to help us go further faster because of his experience and how God's used him in the past. His name is John Trent. He's an author. He holds a PhD. He's written several books. He is a specialist when it comes to helping people understand who God is and how to navigate the relationships in their life from that core of following Jesus. And so I think this is going to be one of the most powerful series we've ever done. Many of you know Monty Patton. He's going to be speaking in it as well as myself and Pastor Corey. So it is going to be a phenomenal experience for our church. We're going to invite small groups to follow along. We're going to have some special surprises that I don't want to give away just yet. They're going to take place during the series. But would you pray? Would you ask God to use this time and this moment and this season in the life of our church to change lives? That people would come to know who Jesus is, that people would come to realize that their life is really not complete until they're living it as a sent person, as a follower of Jesus that's sent out to make a difference in the world. This is going to be, like I said, a very powerful opportunity. And I just ask you to pray that people would respond. And pray for yourself as well. God's got things He wants to share with you. So pray for an open heart. Pray that God would lay people on your heart to invite, and pray that God would speak through this very gifted communicator, John, as well as the rest of our team that's going to be sharing with you. I am so excited about what this series can hold, and I think it's going to be even more powerful and more impactful with you coming along for the ride. So I wanted to give you a sneak peek of that. The rest of the church doesn't know all those things, but you do. So please join me in praying that God would move in a powerful way and our church would be different by the time this series is over. Thank you so much. Love you guys. Excited to worship with you on Sunday. And as always, if there's anything I can do for you, please let me know. Talk to you soon.